Hello YouTube, my name's Jack Gorston. I'm joined alongside by Jack Appleyard. We've got some qualifying action coming up for you, and my old mate Jack's going to tell you exactly what you can look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. 15 minutes of qualifying from Mugello coming up very shortly. And don't forget, the opening round of the 2021 Global Series is coming your way very shortly as well. You can follow all of that on MotoGP.com, MotoGP's eSport website, as well as all of the usual social channels, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You know the score by now. So, without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to hand you over to two of the finest MotoGP eSport commentators on this planet that we call Earth, Jack Appleyard and Jack Gorst. Hello and welcome along to the Autodromo Internazionale del Mugello. Oh, it just sounds good, doesn't it? And it's great to be at Mugello, one of the most picturesque, one of the most iconic circuits in all of MotoGP. What an opening weekend. Portimao and Mugello. I don't think it gets any better than that, does it? It's Jack Appleyard and Jack Gorst with you once again as we find out the grid for our second race of the 2021 Global Series. And it's that man, Adrian, the world champion, who will be hoping for a better qualifying session here. If you missed out what happened in Portimao, the qualifying session, of course you can watch the races later on. Adrian qualified 6th, so on the second row of the grid. The Mr. Pole position of last year. He's got a Tissot watch as a result of that. Did not start his defence or did not start his quest to pick up a second Tissot watch with the greatest of performances. So it'll be interesting to see what he can come up with here. As I said, Jack Appleyard, Jack Gorst with you. And it's a very good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, to my good friend and colleague, old Gorsto to the right.
Yes, thank you very much for the fantastic little and lovely intro you give me there, Jack. Good afternoon to you as well. I hope you're all right, mate. And one thing, I didn't know you spoke Italian.
Yeah, I'm fluent, mate. I'm fluent, yeah, you know.
A little bit of studying after hours, yeah?
Yeah, you know how it is. If I'm coming to Mugello, I like to make sure that I pull out my Italian. So, ciao ragazzi, come stai?
Yeah.
Tutto bene? Sì, sì, molto bene.
Very good, very good. I'm not even going to pretend like I know any Italian because I don't even know Spanish and I live in Spain, so yeah, not brilliant. Anyway, so we are coming down to the first flying laps. And I mean, Mugello is just brilliant, isn't it? What a place, what a circuit, and what a venue, really. I mean, it's in the stunning, beautiful hills of Tuscany. And, well, I don't think there's anything better than filling those hills with the sound of MotoGP bikes, to be honest. So, anyway, here we go. Coming down onto the first flying laps. Adrian, he's going to be hoping for a better qualifying performance than what he did in the first qualifying in Portimao. Obviously there, he was 6th, as Jack told you earlier. Coming all the way down into San Donato, 225 mile an hour before they hit the brakes here. It's certainly one that gets the hairs raising on your skin, and it seems that Adrian has got it absolutely beautifully done.
Yep, that was perfect, that. I don't think we'll see someone go through San Donato throughout this qualifying session better than Adrian did there. I was going to say super, super easy to get your braking on into there, have the rear wheel flicking up into the air, wanting to send you over the top, running wide, but he got it absolutely perfect. However, he hasn't got it right, through there, just exceeding track limits as he went to flick right through turn 3, and as a result that lap has been cancelled. So another lap been cancelled for Darkbright and for Andrew ZH as well, so we'll concentrate on Jack Hammer, the surprise package from the opening qualifying session of 2021. Second place on the grid for the factory KTM man, and he's looking to go one better here in Mugello as he goes down Casanova Savelli for the first time.
Yeah, certainly no slouch is Jack Hammer, and he's got a good measure in front of him in terms of 1NH. He is a very fast lad on one lap and in race trim as well, so Jack Hammer with a perfect reference in front of him. We'll see what he can do as he comes down now through Biondetti 1 and 2, the fast third gear, something like that. Flick left, then right, and fire all the way down into Bacchini. It's a sensational end to the lap, as it seems that Jack Hammer's going to benefit as well from a little bit of slipstream here. So certainly taking some tips from the Moto3 boys, as we all know they love a little bit of slipstream. But let's see what he can do coming across the line. Up 4th, 5th, and 6th gear, past the pit garages, coming across the line now. And indeed, he does go much quicker than 1NH, actually, a 42.4. Trastaveri's about to come across the line. Oh, and he just pips him again by 600ths. I think that was very similar, actually, in the first qualifying session with Jack Hammer's first lap. He was about that far off as well. So, not a bad first effort and marker for Trastavere. P1 so far.
Yeah, great flying lap from the number 73. I need to get my bearings right. Of course, when I said Jack Hammer was flowing through Casanova Savelli for the first time, he'd already been through there. Got it completely wrong. But hey, let me off. We're only 4 minutes into Mugello, the first session. By the time we get on to the final lap, I'll know exactly where we're going. Here is Trastevere then on his way towards Casanova Savelli. There we go. Got it right for the first time. An Italian at Mugello. It doesn't get much better than that as he flicks right and then left and up towards Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Of course, it's grey in the first sector, so this isn't going to be an improving lap for the two-time world champion as we wait for, well, half of the grid to settle up. Mistakes on that opening flying lap coming in from Mr. TFDW, Dark Bright, Piero Ricciuti, Andrew ZH and Adrian. Once again, this was the tail of our opening qualifying session. It took him until, 3 minutes remaining to finally post a lap on the board. He'll be hoping to get a marker down a little bit earlier this time around.
Yeah, it certainly did. It took him quite a while. We'll be hoping that it doesn't take him that long this time, although we are already 5.5 minutes in, and as you say rightly, Jack, still no lap time on the board for him. 1NH, he's about to complete another lap, but unfortunately it seems as though he did go over track limits at some point, and yes, he's gone and dived right into the pits. We turn back to Piero Ricciuti then. He's actually on a red sector through the first split. He's coming now down to, I believe that is Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Yes, it is. Split 2, I think, is just over the hill here. Oh, and it's PB, so he can't be too far off. Let's see if he can rival Jack Hammer and Trastevere as he comes down to Scarperia now. In my opinion, the trickiest corner on the circuit. I crash there every single time. It is horrible for me, but it seems that there's no problems at all for Piero Ricciuti on the LCR Honda. Yeah,
it's a good opening half a lap here from Piero Ricciuti. Of course, put in a pretty impressive qualifying performance last time out in Portimao. Second row of the grid for him. He'll be hoping to try and steal a debut front row start on home soil, but I was going to say he's run wide there, but if he had exceeded track limits, then we would have had a little exclamation mark indicator next to him, so it looks as though he's just about got away with it there. I'm not sure how, but who cares? Piero Ricciuti, number 5 on the front of the LCR and on the helmet as well, comes across the line and goes second. Oh, what a lap from Piero Ricciuti, and suddenly we've got rookies second and third at the moment behind Trastevere, who still leads the way throughout the halfway stage of this qualifying session in Mugello.
Yeah, not bad that. Seems as though our race director was just on a little bit of a coffee break there. So anyway, Piero, we won't tell your secret, so you can keep that one. It seems as though, well, now we've got real trouble for Trastevere at the top. Dark Bright and Adrian are both under in split 1 as Adrian's coming through to split 2 now. See if it remains in the red. And it does, so Adrian is under halfway round.
Yeah, this is a much better performance coming in from Adrian than we saw in Portimao. This is the Adrian of 2020 who was untouchable over 1 lap pace. He's still got half a lap to go though. Let's see if he can hold it all together. Dark Bright on an improving lap time, as you said, and Andrew ZH as well, the Ducati man who has real form around this Mugello circuit. If memory serves right, his title tilt in 2019 really took a massive boost here in Mugello when he won for the very first time. But it's all about Adrian here. What a lap this is so far. 1 corner to go, just touches the curb on the inside and then we'll kiss it again on the exit. He's gone red in sectors 1, 2 and 3. Surely this is going to be good enough for provisional pole for the world champion. Adrian comes across the line and goes top. He is 0.068 of a second clear of Trastevere. Here comes Andrew ZH though. He goes third, a 10th away from Adrian, and Dark Bright comes across the line. He goes 8th, 3/4 of a second adrift. But what a lap that was from Adrian, a 1:42.338 with 6 minutes remaining. That is the marker to beat.
Yeah, absolute barnstorming lap then from Adrian to go top by just under 1/10 of a second. And speaking of a 10th of a second, the top 5 are separated by under a 10th and a half. We see Mr. T come across now to set his first valid lap. Where's that going to take him? Unfortunately, he stays 10th, 2 seconds off, so time to find for Mr. T. But look at those timing screens once again. Trastevere, he's on a PB through split 1, and Jack Hammer's on a PB through the first and second splits. Trastevere then, he's coming up to split 2 now. Let's see if it'll go red or not. It's going to be close for the Yamaha man. No, it doesn't. So PB. So certainly, even though it's only a PB, Adrian is going to be sweating on that Repsol Honda seat.
Yeah, he's in touching distance is Adrian as they flicked right through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Here's Jack Hammer, meanwhile, is into the final sector, and just like Trastevere, he's on an improving lap time. Is it going to be back-to-back front row starts for the KTM man? He's all good through the third sector. He's into the final corner. Bacchini here. He's kissed the curb on the inside, and he's going to do it once again on the exit. Get that bike stood up and power it towards the line. He needs to find around a tenth of a second if he wants to jump up onto the front row of the grid. Is it good enough? No, it's not. It goes away in the final sector. Disappointment there for Jack Hammer, and it looks as though Trastevere's lap has got away from him in the third sector. We'll watch him across the line there. No, not good enough to improve. So with 5 minutes remaining, it stays as it is. Adrian Trastevere and Andrew ZH provisionally on the front row of the grid, and what a front row it would be. Oh, that is blockbuster stuff.
Yeah, that really is. It's going to make the run down to San Donato in turn 1 absolutely brilliant.
Here's Trastevere then as he's out on a second lap now. You normally see with these guys as well, it's one and done when it comes to lap times. With the tyres performing at that absolute peak for just one lap, certainly in MotoGP eSport, when you stick those soft rubber in front and rear, which of course they are all doing. They get the absolute maximum out of them for just one lap, and then you see them roll off. There's no point in going for a second lap, because when the times are as tight as they are, as Jack said, 0.128 separating 5 riders, you know that you're going to be losing at least a tenth, maybe 2 tenths, and it's pointless even going for it. You might as well get yourself back into pit lane, some new rubber in, and go again once you've composed yourself. That's what Piero Ricciuti is doing. I think this is his flying lap, just been on and out lap, has the number 5, of course, now been bumped off of that front row of the grid after improving lap from Trastevere. Oh, sorry, Adrian and Andrew ZH down to 4th now for him. Here is the world champion.
Yeah, seems as though he's just winding up for another attack to see if he can beat his own lap time. Obviously, he'll be doing exactly as you say, just looking after those tyres, making sure that he can get some longevity out of them. I mean, it's not necessarily the fact that the tyres don't last, it's more about the temperature, as Piero Ricciuti has rightly pointed out, Jack. He is on a flying lap now, and he's gone through in a PB in the first split and being only a tenth off around the... Oh, and he's under at the second split. So here we go. This is going to be spicy. Coming down now into Scarperia. Can he keep the rear wheel on the floor, get it tipped in nicely? Of course he can. These boys are all absolute machines then. So launching it up the hill, down now into Correntallo. Another tricky one. It's going to be round now towards the final split. Let's see if he can also be red as he comes down now into the final sector. I'm not too sure. It could be tricky. Adrian was particularly precise through here. This flick left is... Oh, I've absolutely fumbled the words, but he's not fumbled the lap time. He's going through. And on a PB split again is now down into the final corner. See if he can get it launched out onto the straight and go pole, perhaps.
He just needs 100th of a second to displace Andrew ZH on that front row of the grid, but he's looking towards taking pole position away from Adrian. Here comes Ricciuti across the line, and he goes second. What a great lap from the rookie. Piero Ricciuti dives in to the middle of the front row of the grid. Is he going to be joined by another Italian rookie? Here comes Riccardo Battaro, Ducati Power down the start-finish straight. The number 64 comes across the line and stays 6. But there's still a good performance from him in the middle of the outside of the second row of the grid. And here we go, Andrew ZH. Oh, they're winding up now. This is it. We're into the business end of qualifying. Andrew ZH red in that first sector as he dives down towards Arrabbiata 1 and 2. He's only a tenth away from pole position. What can Andrew ZH do? Through the second split, and he's up again. What a lap here from the 2019 champion.
Yeah, he's looking to make it the day of the Desmos Sedici here in Mugello, the home of the Italian boys. Certainly Andrew ZH, as Jack pointed out earlier, he won here in 2019, and we know he's absolutely rapid. That Ducati putting out an absolute mountain of horsepower, but can he get it turned? Can he get it flicked left and right as we come down through the final fast, very fast chicane through Biondetti 1 and 2. Taking a little bit of curb on the way in, not so much on the way out, trying to keep it all smooth, all in line, coming down now into the final turn once again. is under in 3 splits. Will he do it in the final one? We're coming onto the straight to find out. Williams Christian as well, Jack, on the red as well.
Pole position in Portimao. Is it going to be pole once again for Andrew ZH in Mugello? Comes across the line and goes top. Oh, what a lap. A 142.166 over 1.72 clear. That is a considerable margin. What a lap from Andrew ZH. Surely nobody is going to better that one.
Well, I wouldn't count your chickens just yet. It seems that Adrian is trying to eclipse Andrew ZH as he looks as though he's on a flyer. Oh, well, it's actually gone grey through the first split, so it doesn't seem that he's, well, had the perfect first sector, but you never know. He might just be only a fraction off his own personal best time, so could be able to claw it back through the rest of the lap.
Ooh,
one man that's also gone grey is Jack Hammer, but as Jack's just said, Trastevere red through the first sector, so Mr. Two-Time is looking to go for a pole position here in Mugello.
Yeah, it's not over just yet. I think I might have cursed Andrew ZH with that one. Adrian, it looks like it's going to be second at best for him. I don't think he's going to improve, and this, of course, with the checker flag now out, is his final lap, but all eyes are understandably on this man, the number 73. He's gone orange in the second sector, so it's not on course for pole position at this point at the halfway stage, but he clearly shouldn't be too far away from Andrew ZH. Let's see how he gets on through the final half a lap here. We'll keep our eye on Adrian just in case he's able to pull a rabbit out of the hat, but he's not going to do that. He's exceeded track limits. It's game over for Adrian, the world champion. Still a vast improvement on the 6th place he managed to pick up in Portimao. Will he be able to hold on to a front row start though? Trastevere is looking to find a place on the front row. I think Piero Ricciuti might be in a bit of bother here. He's sat in pit lane. He'll be watching the screen, hoping that Trastevere gets it wrong out of the final corner. It looks okay to me. He's nearly got his knee and his elbow on the grass as he comes through the final corner one last time. Trastevere, is this good enough for the front row? Yes, it is. He knocks Piero Ricciuti down. He takes second on the grid. He pulls out a storming lap when he has to. Second for Trastevere.
Yeah, he pulled it out the bag there in the final seconds. And it seemed as though it just wasn't quite enough in the end. So Andrew ZH is on pole once more in 2021. It looks as though the Italian has certainly got the one-lap pace this season. So Trastevere second and Adrian in third place from Piero Ricciuti, Jack Hammer, Riccardo Bittaro, Williams Christian, Dark Bright and Sancho Queen.
Don't forget to join us for the races later on. Round 1 of the Global Series will be live very shortly indeed. Please do join us.